Guys, this is Jock from Cool Movie Reviews, and today I'm bringing you my review of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, man. Actually, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Excuse me. This is the predecessor of the 2018 movie, but hey, before we get into the meat and potatoes, let's cue that intro. All right, guys, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jock, and I'm with Cool Movie Reviews. And I'm a person that likes to review movies and shows, man. And hey, we back again with another one, man. I know it's been a minute. Again, movie season, you kind of go with what you go, and then show season, same thing. But anyway, let's get into it, man. So again, like I said, I just fresh out the movie of seeing Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Man, and like I said, that's the predecessor of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which just came out in 2018. And it follows Miles Morales and friends across the Spider-Verse. And just to get into some of the casting, man, we got Shamik Moore, who's Miles Morales. So if you don't know who he is, he's a great actor, man. And actually, it's pretty funny. He voices a 15-year-old kid, but he does a very good job at it. You got Oscar Isaac as Miguel O'Hara, Danny Kaluuya, man. I mean, the casting list, man, is a mile long. You got Issa Rae as Spider-Woman. Man, you got, literally, you got Amanda Steinberg is Margaret. It's so many Spider people. We're going to get into this review that if you're not a Spider-Man fan, it can kind of be confusing. And I'm going to get into it. So, let's get into it, man. So, just a real quick synopsis of the plot. We're following Miles. I think he's his first year as Spider-Man. Well, not his first year, but it's been a year since he got bit by a radioactive spider, and he's been Spider-Man. And like I said, in the 2018 Spider-Man movie, Miles Morales movie, if you haven't seen that, please go back and watch that. It was amazing, man. And you're just following Miles as he's continuing to be Spider-Man, right? And the responsibilities that it comes with being Spider-Man. Now, if you guys have seen the trailer, which probably a lot of y'all have, you follow some snippets of it. And it's a roller coaster. Let me say that, man. It's a roller coaster. So in this particular movie, and I'm just continuing with the synopsis, there's a situation that happens where it puts Spider-Man back into the multiverse, and this time it's big ramifications of what happens and what could happen on something that Miles did from the first movie. So what I want to do first is we're gonna do something different. We're gonna get into the bad. One thing, and it really wasn't that much bad, man. Y'all gonna be surprised at my rating. Only thing that I can say bad about this movie, it's really not a bad, it's just a minor nitpick, is you could have cut out some of the spider people things and stuff, okay? It was so much Spider-Man overload in that one scene that you see in the trailer where Miles is getting chased by a bunch of spider people and things. I feel like you could have condensed stuff down because it was coming so freaking fast, and I couldn't really keep up to see all the Easter eggs and everything. So I think that was one minor thing that they could have cut out or whatnot. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I really could have said that they could have critiqued on? I'm not even gonna say pacing, man, because we're gonna get into that. So that's really one of my biggest gripes of the movie. It was just so much Spider-Man overload, man. It was ridiculous. So let's get into the things that I actually liked, and there's a lot that I liked in this movie. And this is a non-spoiler review, but I'm not going to give like too much out because if you've seen the trailer, you know certain things. And if you've been kind of paying attention, you'll know. So let's get to number one. The first thing that I liked, the story and how they wrote their characters was amazing, okay? Folks, if you're a screenwriter, if you're in movie school, or not movie school, but if you're trying to go to school to be in the business of writing movies and stuff, right? Pay attention to this movie because each character, how they wrote them was amazing. So when you write characters, you want to draw on your audience and say, hey, how can I get my audience to care about this character, right? Emotionally, right? how do I capture? Now, we had already been emotionally invested in Miles from the other movie, okay? But you really invested in him in this particular movie. You're like, wow, man, this is amazing. And you get to see his Spanish side, or his Spanish side of his family, and their history and how they do their culture and stuff is dope. Then you get to see the writing of the writers did a good job of capturing parenting. So if you're a parent out there, you understand, especially when your kids are getting older, kids start to change. Kids start to get attitudes. Kids start to come into their own, and each parent of each individual is struggling with this. So we really follow Gwen Stacy's story in this particular movie very heavily with her father. She has a relationship with her father, and her father's a cop. I think he's not the chief yet, but he's like, I think he is either the chief or I think he's the chief of police. And you get to follow that dynamic. Like I said, I could be totally wrong with this, so correct me for comments. But it was an amazing perspective from a parent's perspective on how she has a relationship with her father, a daughter-father relationship. Then Miles has his relationships with his parents, and specifically with his father. And his father wants him to listen, but he's not listening. And then Miles is balancing also how to be Spider-Man and then keep up with school. And how they wrote that was amazing. And they took that first part of the movie, the first half of the movie, to flush that out. And it was cool, man, to actually see it. And it took the focal point of kind of trying to balance the Gwen story with the Miles Morales story. Now, I heard some people complain about that, but I actually liked it, man, because it kind of bounced back and forth between the two. And then the writing on this aspect of them and their friendship and how they're missing each other. The writing was amazing. I think it's the writers of this particular series, man, they're dope, man. I think it's Phil Lord, and I forgot the other guy's name. Dope, man. These brothers need more opportunities in Hollywood to write bigger movies and other things and just other superhero movies. They did a good job, and they do a good job with showing the multiverse too. That's my second thing that I want to get into that I like. The multiverse. The multiverse in this particular movie surpasses anything I've seen in past movies with any other little superhero movie, okay? And now I know The Flash hasn't came out yet, so we're going to see that too. But how they flushed this out is what I wanted in Doctor Strange in the multiverse. I wanted that in Doctor Strange. You got to travel through the multiverse, and you got to see how the multiverse functions and how things are done. It was dope, man. It was dope. And those brothers captured that very well. Third thing I like is the characters, right? So, again, we know about Miles. We know about Gwen Stacy. And we got to flush out Gwen Stacy's story a little bit more. But then we get into some of our new characters. And so let me go down this list real quick, man. It's actually pretty funny. You got Spider-Punk, okay? Now, I didn't know nothing about no Spider-Punk, but he's like a rock and roller. He's played by Daniel Kaluuya, and if you don't know who Daniel Kaluuya is, you've been living under a rock. His brother was the star in Get Out. He played in Queen and Slim, I think. He's played in Black Panther. He played him amazingly, man. And it's his name Spider-Punk, but his real name is Toby. This guy, this Spider-Man variant, he has a big part to play in this movie. Dope. Oscar Isaac plays Miguel O'Hara, they call him Spider-Man 2099. And his arc, he's a serious Spider-Man. Serious Spider-Man is a jokey superhero. It's all he do is joke. But Oscar Isaac played the hell out of this character. He has a purpose. He's trying to save the multiverse and the multiverse and what has happened. He's trying to prevent it from happening again. Like I said, this is a non-spoiler, so you got to see the movie to know what I'm talking about. Also, Issa Rae. Issa Rae plays Spider-Woman. Okay. Did an amazing job at playing Spider-Woman. You got Laura Velez, who plays Rio Miles, who's Miles Morales' mother. I mean, the character list was amazing. And just to do what you did, where you took all these characters, and each character kind of had their own time to shine was dope, man. I mean, I was shocked. I was like, you took this small amount of time that you had, you focused on each character in a way where it was amazing. I mean, literally, it was crazy. The other thing that I like, the fourth thing I like, is the representation in this movie was amazing. So if you're from Puerto Rico, let me go down the line. They had a Spider-Man from India. Of course, we know Miles' heritage. I think it goes back to Puerto Rican, I believe, and black. White people, uh, um, Asians from the other Spider-Man. I mean, representation from. They had a Spider Cat in here. They had a Spider T-Rex. Everybody was represented in some way, form, or fashion. If you want to be Spider-Man, you have the opportunity to be Spider-Man or Spider-Woman or Spider-Thing or Spider-something. They did a great job at representing everything. Fifth thing I like is how they introduced specific things and elements. Now, this movie is very fast paced, okay? In some instances, it slows down, but then when it picks up, it picks up. And how they did it in the first one is the same way they did it in this one, in this movie. In the first one, they hit you with stuff so fast, so fast, so fast, so fast, so fast. And your brain has no time to really process it, but it's like you can process it, but you need to go back and watch it a second time in order to catch it a second time. Off the chain, man. And how they introduced some characters, because there was particularly one character in here that really threw things in motion, and it was a situation, and it happened with Spider-Man India, and I don't know the Spider-Man's name, but I know it was in India. India, you guys have your own Spider-Man, which is dope. So it was cool. I want to talk about the villain. Okay, so in the trailer you see the villain. He's black and white, and he has spots on him. They call him Spot. They took this villain and made him into, he's a Z level villain, but at the end of this movie he becomes a level threat. Okay, and all I got to say is Miles' fault, but it really isn't. Why he is doing what he's doing. His motivation is to mess up Miles' life, and when the repercussions happen, oh my God, it's going down. Let me say that. But they did a great job at taking a villain that I didn't really think had a bigger role in this movie, and they took him and made him to where he is the ultimate villain in this movie. Okay? It's amazing. It's amazing off the chain. So before I get to my MVPs and my rating, there's no end credit scene. So I'm going to tell you that off rip. I'm going to spoil that. There's no end credit scene. But it will leave you in shock, okay? By the time you get close to the end of the movie. I took my family, man. They loved it. Now, my MVPs, I'm gonna give it to three characters. I'm gonna do it like this. Number 3 was Toby, Spider-Punk. Even though he didn't have a lot of screen time, but when he did, he was one of the most important characters in this movie. Remember that name, Spider-Punk, Toby, okay? And his artistry, oh my God, I'll get on that in a minute. Number 2 was Miguel, Spider-Man 2099. The way he emoted, his motivation, the reason he's doing stuff. Oscar Isaac played that character, and it makes me respect Spider-Man 2099 even more. My number 1, of course, would be Miles. Miles in this, he's growing up and he surpassed what he's able to do as Spider-Man. You'll see in the movie when you see it why I say Miles is becoming one of the most powerful Spider-Man men and women out there. You'll see what I'm saying. It's crazy. So that's my MVPs of the movie. Now, one more point, and then I'm going to give my rating. The animation in this movie is amazing. Now, let me say this. This needs to get nominated for an Oscar. This is how amazing the animation is in this movie. And I heard they spent some money on doing the animation for this movie, so bravo to them. But my final rating, and it's going to shock the hell out of y'all. I think this might actually be my highest rated movie I've ever rated in life, and by this channel has been a thing. I'm giving Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. You ready for this? A 9.5 out of 10. Y'all let that sink in. I said a 9.5 out of 10. This is how much I enjoyed this movie, and I'm going back to see it. This is how much I enjoyed this movie. And I thought the critics was over exaggerating when they did their review, and I've listened to other people do their review. No, you got to see this movie. You got kids, go take it. If you ain't got no kids, go check this movie out. It is on a whole nother level, man, of greatness, and they did a good job, man. So bravo to them, bravo to their team. Um, like I said, I don't have too much bad stuff to say about this movie, and I'll say this is one of my top favorites of superhero movies of all time. Like, this is how much I'm like raving about this movie. So if you have it, please like the video, share the video, get the content out there. My name is Jock with Cool Movie Reviews, and once again, if you haven't seen it, go check out Spider-Man, Spider Into the Spider-Verse, and I'm out. Holla at y'all.